All right. Let's see. We're going to have to tell me how this sounds today. Trying something new. Let's try it out. Okay. Chat, let me know if there's feedback here. Let me know if there's feedback on the mic. I actually have 2 shows going at one time, and I'm just curious. I've never done it before. I've got two going. As a matter of fact, I'm going to test it myself. I want to bring it up. Do I sound like a robot, or is this just feedback? All right, hold on. Check. Nope. Check. Echoing. Yeah, I don't want that. I've never tried. Check. Yeah. Good morning, Megatron. Hold on. Stop mic and cam. Check. How's that? Is that better? There we go. I think I figured it out. Yeah. Okay. So I need to check both those streams really quick. Check. There we go. Okay. We're good. Hey, well, I learned something new, not the greatest of starts for a live show, but honestly, I got to figure this stuff out. I want to run these 2 channels, and I've never gone live. I had no way to test it with multiple channels going at once, and here we are. I appreciate everybody tuning in this morning. I know NBA is not the most popular at this point in time. It's March 11th, and it's early in the morning. I get it. It's like, what are we doing here? Why are we still betting on this sport? MLB is 15 days away, I believe, 16 days away. We're right around the corner from the best, most profitable season every year, except for this past NFL season, which blew the doors off the gate. Blew the doors off. It doesn't. Blew the doors off the building. Terrible analogies aside, we're coming up on a great, usually the most profitable sport annually. What I was trying to say was this past 2025 NFL season was next level. It was unbeatable. I appreciate people like Steel Force coming in and leaving these phenomenal little comments, unsolicited comments. I do appreciate that. I'm very excited about what we've built, and I'm going to show you how to use it today and try to make some bets for you live. So whether you're a user of the product already or you're here just trying to get some free bets, I'm going to hook you all up today with this show in this format as we go through. Real quick, what are we going to be looking at before we make our bets today? The Sharp Money Radar, the DFS Optimizer, the Positive Expected Value Finder, or Optimizer, whatever you want to call it, the Trends Tool, and the projections. Yeah, we're going all in. So yesterday, took a screenshot. It was 5 p.m. I had just gotten to my computer. I was like, let me take a screenshot of the Pick'em apps using the Sharp Money Radar, and bang, this thing. And I don't know how the rest of the day went, but boy, oh boy, what a beautiful snapshot in time. 9-1. It's a screenshot of 10 plays. They went 9-1 across the Pick'em app. Kind of crazy. Absolutely crazy. I see 3-4 for underdog. I see 4 for price picks and 2 for better. Absolutely nuts. Now, how does the Sharp Money tool work? Now, we posted a couple screenshots yesterday on X because we wanted people to get an idea of how it went. Oh, let's go, Courtney. I love it. See, this is the feedback I'm looking for. How do people do? Yeah, and today we're rocking a coffee. Yeah, the espressos. I'm too deep, and I just need a coffee. It makes me slow down a little bit. So Mason Marchment, here's how this reads out. You see how much, and by the way, we've changed some things overnight to make it better, and we've also added, and I want to say this before I forget, we added a, where is it? We have a bet tracker now, and I'll talk about how to use the bet tracker because this is a game changer. The bet tracker is absolutely nuts. And I can tell who is watching from what YouTube channels today. My NFL, the one with 50,000 subscribers, yeah, that channel, that's gonna have mostly NFL fans, and the 5,000 people on the other channel is gonna have just, like, daily betting fans. That's hilarious. I love my family. I love my family. Anyways, we're gonna talk about the bet tracker. That one's gonna be an absolute W as well. So, how this reads, let me backtrack a little bit. $11,000 of sharp action has come in on the under for Mason Marchment, 1.5 shots on goal. So Mason Marchment, 1.5 shots on goal to the under, $11,000 has come in. Now, what this is basically showing you is how much liquidity. So, what we did is we changed this. People were confused. So now it just says whale books, liquidity. And whatever you see here means that's how much money has come in on the other side because these are peer to peer platforms. Meaning, if I am betting minus 110 for LeBron to score 20 points, somebody has to accept that minus 110 bet by playing it at plus 110. So what shows here is essentially the opposite of what the sharps have done. So $10,400 on Profit X was played at plus 139. Plus 139. So this is a great play here because you're getting it at a plus 140, 1 cent better than $10,000 of liquidity. Now, yes, there was $642 on Novig at plus 159, which was better than Profit X and better than the score bet. However, this one beats out the majority of that liquidity. Basically, if you don't understand it, and that's a lot of craziness, man, we just tell you what to do. Mason Marchment shots on goal, sharp sides on the under, best bets right here. Click this, and it enters it for you. Like, take the thinking away. Here's another example that we posted. I can't remember one of our several Twitter accounts we run. It was Giannis Antetokounmpo under 40.5 PRA on Prize Picks. There was 6.6K on Profit X and on Novig. So on Profit X, $6,000 essentially on the minus 123. There was $678 on a minus 110. So there was this much liquidity showing on the opposite side. The minus 118 for Prize Picks is a better line, the implied probability, than the minus 123 on Profit X. And all that liquidity. Yes, Novig was better at minus 110, of course. But again, it's only a tenth of the liquidity. So this was a really good play on Prize Picks. Now, I'm not saying you cannot apply this information on other books. Like if you had access to BetMGM and you see this, you're like, I want to run it. Okay. No one's going to get mad at you. I mean, you're 2 cents off of the minus 123 that was out there. Like, that's not terrible. You do usually want to be better, but that's not terrible. So let's do it live today. Here are some new things we've added to the tool, and I'll zoom in for you. We've added a whale filter for how much money you want to see. Okay, the normal filters are there, NBA, NCAA, NHL. We'll add more sports probably over the next week or two. Daytime tennis, PGA, all that crap you want. I've taken the totals off. The totals will add more. We added the longer than whale, and we added the DFS available only. We have also added these little badges. And when you click the badge, it's going to drop down and show you. Let me get a good example of this. It's going to show you these DFS plays in purple, so your eyes can catch them quickly if you are looking for DFS plays. Now, let's talk about how to use these so you all can make some money. Ravens signed Trey Hendrickson. Wow, that's why they got out of that Max Crosby deal. Wild. There we go. I'll put myself over here. Down here. Yeah, we'll go down here today. Whew. What's up? Dr. Momomo says, on Novig, I've been adjusting the odds with make bets instead of take bets, and everything they get matched, and it's really helped to increase my profits. Sharp plays. Nice job. Threes has been useful. Cool. That's a good market for you. Under blocks hit again for you using the trend section. Amazing. I love it, man. People are making money using the tool in so many different ways. When 8-2 would have been a sweep, got sweaty near the end. It's straightforward. You have to be quick selecting it. Plays go fast. Absolutely. Absolutely. When you're using advanced level stuff, you're using it against a lot of other users who are doing the same thing. So you're this, especially when you're using this on the peer-to-peer platforms. Stuff like the DFS ones, they're slower these days because people are, getting off the pick 'em apps, and there's so many options now on exchanges and things like that that they're, the money's getting spread out a bit more. A couple years ago, when the exchanges weren't huge or a huge thing, or there weren't as many, all that money was all over these pick 'em apps, and things used to, I mean, they were gone. So let's talk about how to use this stuff. And we're going to make bets. We're going to look at the projections today. Again, I told you we're going to look at these. A lot I want to accomplish this early in the morning. So let's get to it, and let's make some bets, and we'll save them, and then we can track them daily. Okay. Okay, so if you're somebody who's like, man, like Mitch, all I want to do is use the Sharp Money Radar for the DFS apps. Okay, well, step one, first off, click DFS available only. And I'm going to zoom in my browser here because I know a lot of people watch on mobile. Just understand that, above me and below me, there's a ton of filters that you would use for this tool if you want. Okay. All right. So this is step one. First off, like if you only want to use the Sharp Money Radar for just DFS. Okay, cool. Well, the beautiful part, and I'm gonna remove my head really quick because this is kind of cool. We show you, if you want, every app all at once. Now, if you don't want to see every app all at once, that's fine. I understand. You could uncheck it and then select, like, well, maybe I only want DraftKings. Maybe I want to use BetMGM alongside it. So on and so forth. Maybe I want to have NHL. Like, you control your experience. All right. That's what I want the takeaway to be. You control your experience. This is real. I don't think people understand how unique this is, being able to have something like this that shows you all the apps all at once, but you get it. So anyway, we're going to do DFS available only. And this is going to be good, but not great yet. And I want to show you why. All right. So let's say this is actually a good play. This is a good play. So you've got $2,400 coming in on Profit X. Remember, this is just the liquidity on the under on a peer-to-peer, which means somebody has already put down, or someone's has put down 2.4K at minus 134. Price picks, an implied probability of a minus 118 on this play. Now, of course, you can't straight bet this, so you're going to have to put together a slip. You'd have to use other Price Picks plays. You can make those by using, if we can find 3 plays from the Sharp Money Radar, and then 2 plays from the DFS Optimizer, and then you finish it off with the projections. I don't know how many plays I got to, but you can use the tools at hand to build out your 6 flex. You don't have to only use one tool if you don't want to. Like, you can use all of them to make these things happen. Javon Carter, here's a good example for you. You can use this play, but it might not be as good as other ones. And here's where I think people probably need to be mindful. And I'm going to show you a filter here in a second that will take plays out like this. So Javon Carter, remember, what's showing here liquidity-wise means the money actually was bet on the other side. The higher the liquidity, the better. And also what I'm saying now, like yesterday, where I gave that example and I showed Giannis, $6,000 coming in on the under 40.5 PRA, and Price Picks had the best implied odds compared to the other books. That was an elite play, like lock worthy. Do you see what I'm saying? A play like this, it's good, but it ain't potentially great. It's a minus 110. $2,000 has come in at a minus 110 that on Novik. Underdog minus 115 implied odds for the two pick entries. And the price picks minus 118 is it's six flex, right? Remember, I haven't played pick 'em apps in years. And this tool is brand new. So I got to get back to the phrasing and lingo and all the my knowledge base for this stuff. But I believe six flex minus 118 implied odds. So this is an okay play, but it's not better on the pick 'em apps. This one's better by 16 cents, a minus 134 in Profit X, sharp money, and you're getting an implied odds of minus 118. So, like, could I finish out a slip with Javon Carter as the sixth pick or something? Sure, but you probably have better plays. How can you find those better plays? How can you make sure you don't have plays like this show up? You got to select longer than whale, okay? So that you have the opportunity to find plays, and it's not going to lock them in. The opportunity to find plays where, Bovada, you're getting a plus 110. Well, guess what? $550 came on this at a plus 110 on Profit X, plus 112 on Novik. All right. So that's essentially how you're going to read this out. People paid a plus 101 on Profit X. Well, you get a plus 105 on Hard Rock. Does that lock them in for Pick'em? No. Again, I don't think so. Can you use it if you want? Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think that you're in a terrible position. I just think there's probably better plays if you really start to compare the lines themselves. Here's another great one. Deontay Murray under 5.5 rebounds. Again, we tell you the line, we tell you the sharp side to play it right here. There's $500 on the minus 115 on Profit. You're at least getting identical odds implied for the two picks. So Deontay Murray under 5.5. Rebounds, and the other play we had was I can't even remember. It might be gone. We were looking at something else. Might have been this Mobley play for underdog. Yeah, it is a cheat code. It's unbelievable. And again, like yesterday, it was a single screenshot. I don't know where it went. It was a screenshot in time. I'm trying to say it was a screenshot in time with this stuff applied, and it went 9-1. Is that always going to happen? Absolutely not. But I think it showcases the upside of using a tool like this. It's a single screenshot in time that banged home a 9-1. It was 5 p.m. And there's the Giannis play that I screenshotted. It was $6,000 in liquidity on the under 40.5 at minus 123. So that price play was basically a lock and load opportunity. And that's our goal here. Now, remember, when you click longer than whale and DFS only, some of these are going to be perfect. Like this Evan Mobley play is legitimately perfect. It's perfect. Minus 134 has come in on Profit X with $2,400 backing it. Price Picks gives you better implied odds. Some of them are not going to be perfect, like this one, where the best pick'em odds you're getting is a minus 115, and $1,000 has come in on the minus 111 on Profit X. It's close. It's not a terrible play, but it's not like a lock and load play. Good morning, Javad. What's up, bro? VG. What's up? Oh, what's up, Coke Plays? Good morning, y'all. Sparry is so evolving so awesomely. Appreciate that. Donuts, can you look at Scotty Barnes unders today? Yeah, I got you. We'll look at Scotty Barnes unders. So the Sharp Money Radar, I just want people to really start to identify some of this stuff, navigate these filters, use the different markets the way you want, use the different sports. You want to maybe hone in on only the plays that have more money coming in. We'll set a minimum whale filter. Throw it, Mitch. I only ever want to pay attention to plays with at least $1,000 coming in on them. Okay, I don't blame you. Then do that. Like you can do that. And when you're doing it and you're like, all right, Mobley play, I want to save it. All right. So here's something I didn't think about. Like the price per play, I don't know how to put down a certain amount of money for them because I don't play on a price pick. But anyways, I'll go to the saved bets feature and there. Now I've got another play saved. I can track these. And here's how the tracked bets works. Let's say these all end up win, loss, and win. All right. So I go, my 5 save bets, 3 and 2, my profit loss, P&L, plus $25. When Thursday morning rolls over in the calendar, you'll see the if I'm wrong here, Javad, you can correct me. Wednesday, you'll see the profit loss of 25.66 as a profitable day. The next day, when these are final and everything rolls over calendar wise. So you can have a running and like here's the deal. Like if you ever just want to like track your process, like I know people want to do this. They often will want to track their process. So like I want to track and see how I do if I take only plays at $1,000 liquidity or more on the sharp money radar or the positive expected value tool. And you're like, I want to change, I want to just track them for like 3 days or something. Or like I want to never take odds bumped plays. I want to track, the projections only plays. Okay. Well, let's look at those really quick. Like maybe there are some phenomenal plays today looking at projections. And, how do you find those again? Really quick. You got the projections history here. Let's look at unders for the assist market. And we can see, let's look at, let's make this easier to read. And we're going to look at bet grade, all the A's. So we know betting on the assist market, unders, and A's through our projection model, 61% of them have profited this year. How about under B's? 56, just about 56%. Under our A's, B's, 57%. Let's look at A's, 58%. So then we go back to the projections history. Are there any under A's today for assists? Nope. There's a B plus. John Tunkar, under 2.5 assists. Well, let's see if there's any A's for rebounds and assists. Nope. Unfortunately, points. Not many A's this morning. Not a good sign, usually to me. But you got some B pluses. So, like Konkar. All right. I just realized I have no way to track the projection plays. So currently we can track optimizer plays, which the DFS optimizer we're going to use here in a few minutes. I can track the positive expected value plays. This is just math based here. I can track sharp money plays, but I cannot track projections. Okay. Something I just thought of because I was just thinking to myself, like, I want to track the projections as well. Maybe I enter them with the morning update, or maybe I only want to track like 5, 6 p.m. games, not worry about CLV and only worry about making sure I get guys that are not going to get ruined by the NBA news cycle. Oh, that's a great idea, Metal Gamer. Being able to export your results. I mean, ideally, long term, this will become more robust, the bet tracker. You know, we want you to be able to. This is pretty freaking cool, man. We want you to be able to, use this in a myriad of ways. This is literally the first morning I woke up to it. My developer is just an absolute wizard. I love this guy. Um, I mean, long term, why don't we have something more robust and you guys have a nice, huge bet tracking experience, and it's just a part of your access. Like that's the goal. We want to make this into literally the greatest product out there for so many different ways you can use the site. I'm gonna drop the link right there if you haven't clicked it. I mean, I'm telling you right now, it's worth looking at. Give it a look. Give it a look. See if it's for you. I'm gonna have to reach out to my developer and see if we can figure out a way to save bets from the projections, or if we need to, maybe we'll have to manually enter those since they update every hour. It's very interesting. Something new to think about. Good morning, Alphonse. Can you make it where you can click on the graded projection from the history tab and it pulls the current day's projections? I don't fully understand what you're asking. Steel Force. We can save our bet. Yeah, I know that's new today. Saving your bets. All right. So sharp money radar again. We'll be using this throughout. This is literally the number one thing on the site, in my opinion. I wouldn't even it would be this and the projections for me right now. I just think they're smooth. They're just too smooth, man. I freaking love them. I love them. Um, that's just me. That's just me. Let's check out the DFS optimizer and we'll go from here. So, how this is going to differ from the positive expected value tool, this is going to be using, we've got access to like 80 apps. What's up, Chi Town? Dude, I think you'd love this site, by the way. Positive expected value, all these different apps, all these different sports markets, DFS optimizer, sharp money radar. This is absurd. This is the greatest tool I think we've ever had. And of course, the trends tool. I'm not a huge fan of trends. I don't care about them too much. But if you click their names, oops, back click. If you click their names, you can do research. You can bounce around in the different player cards right inside the games. Like you don't have to go back and forth anymore. Like you can just do it right here. Okay. You can do alt lines. You can change the alt lines right here. You can odd shop, see some stats, whatever. And then the projections, of course, you can do there. But my favorite thing today is being able to track your bets, is to save your bets. That's absurd. This is absurd because now we're adding a bet tracker to all of that you see. And of course, I didn't even talk about it. But of course, if you're going to do any line shopping, you can shop like a boss here as well. So, anyways, the DFS optimizer. The difference, somebody asked me, they're like, what's the difference between the DFS optimizer and the positive expected value finder? And we're going through this stuff so we can make some picks here, and we're going to do them right now. um, the positive expected value finder, the EV optimizer, probably should just change that name to EV optimizer. Now I think about it. We have access to 80 or so books across Australia. We have books from like Croatia. They're literally like all over the world. And then we've got, I don't know, 40 or so stateside retail books, exchanges, pick 'em apps. We're showcasing basically how we view the most popular and most sharp ones out of our access. They update every 10 seconds or so on the site. We do the math for you. You can see them updating live, so they will, shift around on your screen at times if the math has changed, the EV percentage has changed. We are calculating using all of our books, and we're stripping out the vig to give you the fair odds, and then we're telling you where the most value is compared to the fair odds. So, like fair odds being a plus 117 on James Harden, under 11.5 rebounds and assists. On Profit X at a plus 138, that's a 9.8% positive expected value. It means you're 9.8% more per dollar you spend, essentially, is a really good way to look at it, essentially like an ROI. Now, if you're like, well, I don't really like using this stuff for exchanges, well, then fine. Take it off. Take Novig, Profit X, Polymarket, Kalshi, take them right off. Take them right off the tool. Mitch, I don't have access to Bovada. Fine, take off Bovada. Oh, I love Hard Rock. Boom. There you go. Okay. Here's a great play for you then. Fair odds of a minus 105. And you're getting a plus 110 for Trey Murphy over 8.5 rebounds and assists. That's incredible. Now, how does it work differently for the DFS optimizer? Pretty freaking cool. So what we've done is out of that, remember, I told you we got that massive list of all those books. We have calculated the sharp odds for books like FanDuel and Pinnacle. We take all the sharp books that we deem sharp. We weighted each sports book for, how sharp they are. And then we create sharp odds using those sharp books only. No, I didn't say anything about consensus. I literally said we strip the vig out. We de-vig them. But sometimes I'm like, yo, are you listening? Yeah, drink that coffee, bro. The fair odds is a de-vigged line for all books. It's not an aggregated average. Those are stupid. Anybody using aggregated lines for this stuff, garbage. That's garbage. Don't do it. Don't do it. So these, for the DFS optimizer, this is our own sharp odds calculation using our sharp books that we've identified and weighted based on results we've seen throughout the history. So, like FanDuel player props, elite, right? So in our I shouldn't say model in our calculations, FanDuel for DFS sharp odds is going to have a higher weight than Bet Online and Pinnacle. You know what I mean? It's pretty freaking cool, man. I love what this is. Now, I don't play Pickamans, but if you come in here, you'll have a pretty darn good way to go about doing business if you just want to run them. Now, you can mess with the labels a lot too. My head is in the way. It's going away now. Be gone, head. Label unders only. Maybe I only, there's a lot of plays. There's a lot of plays. Some are good, some are great, some I think are skippable. And let's talk about those. So maybe I only want to run out a 5% or edge higher. And now when I'm looking at these, the other thing I might want to look at is what's the differential, not just versus the sharp odds, but versus specific sports books like FanDuel. Well, this is a pretty darn good play. FanDuel, extremely sharp for player props. And yes, in our calculations for the optimizer, the DFS optimizer, there needs to be a majority of our sharp books identified, right? So it's like if there's only FanDuel odds, it's not going to be here. There's got to be multiple. The majority of our sharp books identified have to be available for our calculations to even make sense. You feeling me? I should say this one more thing too is, this stuff, game logs, pretty useless to me when we were betting like this. Pretty useless. But I know some people like to use those to kind of confirm their takes. So I was trying to allude to it. Sometimes I think plays are elite. Sometimes I think you can look at this and they're just not as good as you might think, in my opinion. So I'm looking for an example. Like I'm trying to like I identified FanDuel as probably my favorite sharp book for player props. And these are all pretty darn good plays. Here's one. Julius Randle under 4.5 assists. So the sharp odds across all of our sharp books, minus 133. But FanDuel, I usually want it's close to 20 cents or so differential. So like a minus 118 or like if we're on underdog, a minus 115. So I'd want to see FanDuel like a minus 135 or longer. You feeling me? So like this one, that's pretty good. I mean, we're talking a 17-cent differential against FanDuel. Not bad. How about LaMelo? Like this is maybe a fade. LaMelo Ball, who was in fouled out in 23 minutes last night. Garbage. Great job, LaMelo. Slap happy. So he's under 3.5 threes on underdog for a 2 pick. FanDuel's a minus 130. That's only 15-cent differential. So like this one, yeah, I guess it's good according to our sharp odds across our sharp books calculation. But it's just, maybe not for me. Might be for somebody else though. All right. And if you're like, I don't really want to worry about sharp and I just want pure DVIG lines, well, then here you go. You can uncheck all these books. You can put in Profit X. You can put in Underdog, DraftKings Pick Six, and better. You can add all the sports back, and not worry about the labels and just get the best of the best. And here's how you do it. This is the best way to do it if you are literally just trying to find the best pure math based plays, not worrying if they're coming from sharp books or retails or what. It's just we've devigged, all nine from all our access, and there you go. Fair odds minus 121, implied probability for better. And someone tell me, is it for better? Is it a 3-pick power like Prize Picks? I think it's 3-pick powers for Prize Picks, right? Is better the same? I've literally never used better. And matter of fact, uh, one of the things that's helped make this product so good is the feedback people give me who are helping me. They're like, "Well, here's what we need if we wanna use it on Pick'em," or "Here's what we need for Novig," things like that, and I'm like, "Oh, good point. Cool, thanks," and then we add stuff. So you keep giving me, Fairback. Don't don't we all, Ebert? We want winners. Good odds, bad odds, sharp, square, don't matter if it wins. Preach, baby. Yo, what up, Ralph? It goes, hello, sir. See you in the NFL season. Just stopping by to show love. I know. I went live on my NFL YouTube, the one with 50,000 subscribers today for the first time since February like 23rd or something. Like that channel's been quiet and it'll be quiet for a little bit longer here. Because I just wanted people to be like, where is he? So I should probably say that. If you're watching me this morning on the huge YouTube channel that I have, I've got a new YouTube channel that is specifically just for daily sports betting, baseball, March Madness, everything. And there's the channel link. I just dropped it. So you're going to want this is the My Sparry Picks channel. If you're watching on the NFL one, you got to go to the at My Sparry Edge channel on YouTube. And that's daily live shows, building slips, making picks. All right. Yeah. 2 pick entries for underdog are absolutely goaded. No doubt about it. And I think the sharp money radar might be the best way to play them over there, to be honest. But that's totally up to you how you want to go about doing your business. Here's a great one. Deontay Murray. Oh, we covered this one earlier. Under 5.5. Save bet. Let's just again, I don't know how to value. And look, it's been removed. So when you save it, it's gone. It won't be up there anymore. When you save your bet, it gets removed. So you don't get confused and keep betting it. Oh, look at this great play. Keontae George under 21.5 points. Why is that great? Remember, so we got $500 of liquidity coming in at minus 125 on Profit X. That's great for us because underdog implied 2 pick odds of a minus 115. Bang, saving. So you could use that right there with the Deontay Murray under 5.5 rebounds play. How about this one? Nah, see, this one isn't that good. And like this is one I'm fading. Kawhi Leonard over 27.5 points. We've got $500 coming in on Profit X, minus 100. A minus 108 for Novik, only $92. Implied odds underdog, minus 115. Pass. Like I don't want it. I don't want this one. But the other ones, phenomenal. Phenomenal. And again, this is just NBA because I know most of you are here, but you could add NHL, NCAA, and hopefully soon we're going to add all the other sports that we have access to, which is like 30 of them. And then you'll really have a robust experience here using the sharp money Raider. And I'm saving bets left and right. So we're up to like what, 4 picks today? And that might be, listen, my apologies if I am burning through a lot of this stuff. But I've got a lot to cover and I want people to learn while I'm here and streaming. And hopefully it's been helpful. And you've hit the like button on the My Sparry Edge channel. We got 8 likes today on the big 50,000 subs channel, only 21 likes. Let's go. Fire it up. Come on. 40 minutes deep. Been giving away. I mean, literally, you could sit here and just take plays from the screen if you want. But I've given away 4 or 5 plays as well. We haven't even finished. Yeah, appreciate that, Steady. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for the subs, bud. And I'm going to reach out to my dev today about trying to figure out a way we can save the projections. That's definitely going to be something. That's definitely going to be something. The assist category, I'm going to be honest here. So, remember the projections history? Check this out. So, for assists to the over, now it's not a great win rate, 54.19%, but it is higher than a break even around a minus 110 or so. Implied for a 54, I don't know, was that minus 117 or so? Anyways, for Russell Westbrook, he's getting the minutes now. And like this is something where I think if you're playing any overs based on the projections, I think you also need to be mindful of the context behind those overs. So, like Westy right now for the Kings, he's getting a ton of minutes. He's getting rebounds. I think he had 6 rebounds, 9 assists last night. Yeah, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. Maybe his RA is what do we have him protected for? 11.5? So maybe the RA might be in play at 10.5. It's better odds too, I will say that. So for the assist, you're getting juiced. You're getting taxed mightily here. So I don't even know if I want to take a minus 140. So maybe the plays on the rebounds and assists. I've talked about this before. If you're playing a combo category, that person better have elite ceilings on both markets. Otherwise, there's no point in playing a combo market. So if you play rebounds and assists, they better be great for rebounds. They better be great for assists. So projections like the over, I don't mind it. Against the Charlotte Hornets, Westy played 25 minutes last night. I'm not terribly concerned about a machine like him and a second leg of a back-to-back for a tanking team of Kings. They're going to let Westy run out there and stat pad for a tanking team. Like, there's a reason why he's playing more minutes now. The team's tanking. Why not throw the 36-year-old veteran out there and let him run 30 minutes a game? He's not going to help the team win or anything, but he'll pad his stats, be happy. Everyone's happy that way. So I think Westy goes out there and at plus 101 on DraftKings, that's a pretty darn good play. So I click it and bang, there we go. Deep link. Deep linking. I forgot to bring that up. I'm at 40 minutes into the show, and I just brought up that these are deep linked. Man, I love this. I love this product. I'm literally over the moon happy with this product. It's crazy. I've had tools and companies and sites before, and I felt good about them. This one, I'm like over the moon, pleased with it. This is fun. This is going to make betting fun. I think that's why I'm able to go daily again because I'm having fun and I feel good about what I'm putting out there in the world here. It's crazy. Anyways, so you got the Hornets. They shoot a ton of threes. LaMelo, Brandon Miller, Constantinople. It was Sion James will launch them off the bench. Mikal Bridges will chuck a few. Like they got guys left and right who are just going to heave up threes. Kobe White will jack up 4 or 5 per game off the bench in 20 minutes now for the Hornets. A lot of long 3-point rebounds for Westbrook. So I think the rebounds and assist upside is fantastic tonight. If I had a way to add this to my bets, because remember we got the my bets feature now, I would add it. And I'm going to talk to and again, this is like the first morning we've had the my bets save function. So I'll talk to my developer and we'll figure it out. We figure a lot of things out together. So yeah, I got a feeling we'll be able to figure that out. That'll be really freaking cool. And remember, the projections over. Let's look at rebounds and assists over. And this is just historically looking at it, only about 52% for rebounds and assists. But hey, again, plus 101, not bad. Not ideal though. We usually do want unders. When I looked at this, John Konkar I thought he was on Memphis still. Who's he play for? Wow. When did he become a Jazz? Anyways, under 2.5 assists. Projections really like it. It's a B plus. Now remember, looking at the projections history, B plus was really good. Nope, not overs. Look how bad overs are. I'm telling you, under in NBA is everything. 58.87%. Now, again, it's not, a huge sample size, but it's pretty darn good. Next year, when we have a full season of stuff like this, I think it's going to be freaking awesome, though. So that's another play. I think the under 2.5 assists is pretty darn good. Let's see what else we could find here. Or any Jalen Brunson under 7.5 assists. I actually really like this. He's been flirting with that number. He hooked us last game. But the game against the Jazz, like, what if, check this out. What if only plays like 29 minutes or less? Wow, that's only happened a couple times this year. Oh my God. What? Even in blowouts? Holy moly. What a machine. So what I did really quick, and you guys just watched me do it, is I used the filter, minutes filter, and whoa, my guy plays all the minutes regardless. But like, okay, Jazz tanking. They're literally the tanking Jazz. Like they're the you tanking Jazz. If they get blown out by 30 points in the third, and Brunson happens to sit part of the fourth, what if he doesn't play 30 minutes? What if it's a 25-minute game? What if he doesn't play like a huge amount of minutes? How about 33 or fewer on the season? Well, 33 or fewer on the season, I mean, he's only cashed twice. Click this label under and watch. It'll change the math for you so you don't have to. 87% of his games, he's cashed the under at 7.5 assists. This is an interesting play to me. Remember, the projections have him for 6.7 and a B grade. And we saw the B grade was what, a 56% win rate to the under? So that's an interesting play. And again, I don't have a save feature. I wish I do for the my bets. We don't have a save feature for the projections yet. But again, it's the first morning with it. Literally, it's like 2 hours old. But that's an interesting play. That's an interesting play based on the projections. What else can we get? And just so you know, the projections change they update hourly now. So if you have ever used our projections in the past, they're automated and update hourly. Pretty friggin' cool. So nothing good for RA. C plus is the best it gets. Points. Let's take a look at the points for the projections history. We'll look at A's, 55%, 55.34% of all unders for points bet A's have been good. Uh, B's, not as good, 52%. And I think those guys were only A's or only B's. Yeah, so Javon Carter, uninterested. PAs. Okay, let's look at PA. Ooh, I saw Suggs. He's been a guy I like unders for. All right, so I forgot I can do all. Under for points and assists. And like anybody who's not a member is like, why would he go through all of these? Because these are going to update every hour. So there's value in looking at this at 9:50, and then if you do it again at 10:30 and 11:30 and 12 and 1 and 1:45, it's like as these things change, based on news, based on odds and things like that, the projections change. So like I'm happy as a clam to come on here every morning, cover the Sharp Mini Radio, DFS Optimizer, positive expected value, the projections. I'm able to come in here and do all this, and then all of it is just old news an hour or two later. It's like there's value in just signing up and having access to this all day on your own. Anyway, I digress. Points this to the under. A's have won 57% of the time. B's 52% of the time. Again, frustrating because we just don't have good plays this morning. Touch and go. No A's. How about PRA? No A's. Yikes. This is so rare. And then I don't touch. I'm not a fan of rebounds unders because I'm actually going to show you something funny. So we'll go to the rebounds market. So there's been success. And this is why, because I don't know how to decipher what I'm looking at. This seems like extreme variance. 62% of the B's have won. Like, what? This is the only market where the B has a higher grade than the A. And that's just weird to me. All A's, 52.82%. All B's, 56.29. So, like, yeah, I guess theoretically, the B's might be better for the model, but like, how do you hang your hat on that? I don't know how to. But Jakob Pertl, under 8.5 rebounds, is a B if you like it. There are 3 A's, but again, I don't know how to hang my hat on that. I think that's kind of tough. And points and rebounds is actually similar. Points and rebounds market is not as good. These are like the worst of the worst for the unders. And you can see B plus again is very weird, right? All B's 54%. All A's only 50%. Why are B's better for points and rebounds? Why are B's better for rebounds? With this in mind, if you're like, well, Mitch, I'm running out what I know based on a season of projections here. Well, there's a bunch of points and rebounds for B's. There's like 9 of them, which is wild. I mentioned Jalen Suggs under for points and assists has been really interesting. He's up to a 20.5 line here. Is he 21.5 on some? No. 19.5 on a couple books, 20.5 here. With the team getting everyone back here finally, like the only person they're missing now is Franz Wagner. We should look at Anthony Black. When Anthony Black is active, Desmond Bang, Paolo Caro, when their team is healthy, Suggs' minutes have started to dip a little bit. And we're seeing, 26, 26, 31, 29, 24 minutes. It's a bunch of minutes under 30. And when we cap his minutes at 30 this season, it hasn't been great. I also like the fact that he has like so many stinkers, right? Like his points per it's very boomer bust 23, 4, 24, 10. Assists, same thing 11, 3, 4, 4, 2. So, as much as I like seeing those ceilings for overs, they also give me a little bit more confidence in the unders. I like guys who go way over or way under. I don't like players who hover around their line, right? 6.5 assists are like usually 5, 6, 7, 8 every day. Anthony Black not playing today. Well, that makes this maybe a little bit more touch and go. Maybe his minutes at 26.1 projected. Maybe you disagree and you're like, I think he plays 32.4, or I aggregate my projected minutes over 3 sites and that says 32.4. Well, guess what? At 32.4 minutes, his points and assists play actually would be to the over. His projection would be to the over, So, yeah, I think you do have to be mindful of the projected minutes a little bit too, especially at the end of the year here. Hey, let's go, man. Way to identify that trend. Does the model estimate for blowouts and possible EV from lack of starter minutes? Yeah, I mean, the minutes rotations, there's a bunch that goes into it. I mean, I can sit here all day and tell you how the simulations go. But it's not like some guy sitting in a dark office with a pencil, projecting out minutes because they're looking at 5 games logs. You know what I mean? Like we simulate it 10,000 times. There's a right-leaning distribution curve for the projections, which means whenever our unders pop, that's why they've been so freaking good. We're not going to change it. Could we fix it a little bit? Try to get that more, median approach? Yeah, I guess. But this has allowed us to highlight when the unders are amazing. And, it's been amazing for our models. Matter of fact, if you go back and you start looking at all sports and you start looking at all the unders, they've been incredible. Look at 57%. Now, again, small samples, 57% last year for strikeouts. These were our best bets. These were 59% win rate. But then when you look at NBA, you look at overs, and you get some outliers up here, but like most of them suck. The overs for NBA are garbage. They're garbage. Unders are where it's at. Look how small the red is. And as long as you're above like a 52.3% or so, they're pretty solid. Try to get as close to even odds or better as you can. Shorter odds are best. And stick to higher grades. Yeah, I'm bouncing around a lot today. I'm happy to help answer questions, though. Thanks for taking time to answer. Yeah, it's a lot to look at. There's a lot of tools on the site. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to do my best every day. And that's the other part. It's like every day you can get support from me right here on YouTube and inside Discord. So if you sign up, again, mysparryedge.com, if you sign up, It's not like you sign up and then you're just left to your own chagrin. You're left you left to your own volition. No, it's probably better words. And you're going to get a tutorial, and I'm trying to look for the link on the My Spurry Edge YouTube. There's a tutorial. By the way, I think we're going to add it to right here. We talked about this little question mark. If you click the question mark, I believe we're adding the tutorial links to here. So, like, what I did is I put out a tutorial that's like an overall view of the site, and then we ended up launching 2 new products. So that tutorial is only good for several of the products. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make tutorials for each individual product for the next week or 2, and when you click the question mark, it tells you a little blurb, but then I am going to have a tutorial for that specific tool. So if you're like, "All right, let me check out the Sharp Money Radar," or maybe we'll put the word right next to the question mark, like a little hyperlink word that says tutorial, and you could click it. That's not a bad idea. What's up, Zach? Oh, you did ask earlier. My bad. I was deep into thoughts though. So let's go to the home page. I need a sip of coffee. All right. So here's the tools you'd get on this. Let me get my face out of the way. Here's the tools you get. So you get all the interactive graphs, the player cards you see me using, the EV optimizers. You can use it on mobile, of course. We actually built mobile first, so it's a mobile web app, which means we could launch an app tomorrow if we needed to. But I like our current setup. Sims and AI betting models, beautiful. Okay, odds board. Yep, with deep linked. Great. Okay, that's your intermediate level. These are the essential tools to success. They're essential. You get projections, you get the plus EV optimizers. You need these. Essentially, that's what I'm saying. These are the essential 4 tools you need. Now, you're looking for something advanced. Well, okay, the DFS Pick'em optimizer, very specific to Pick'em, very specific to sharp books and EV lines, and then the Sharp Money Radar, which I honestly think might be the best thing out there. This is the most important thing I think we've created so far. These are sharp tools. All right. So when you go to the get started page, and I can't remember what happens if I click this. I don't want to show, I think it might load into my personal account because I'm already a member and I don't want, yeah, it does. Well, good thing I didn't click that. You see all my personal info. If you click this, actually, let me go to that on a incognito tab. There we go. That was smart. Donuts, every once in a while, you're smart. So the essential tools are here: odds board, deep linked, intergraphs, or interactive prop graphs and trends, deep linked plays, EV optimizers, deep linked plays, Sims and AI betting models you watch me using with the historical data, customizable prop projections. Again, you can adjust minutes for pitchers, pitch counts, outs, whatever. Um, Everything auto refreshes for you. There's no more needing to refresh your pages. You can sit there all day and leave it up on your phone, your tablet, your PC, whatever it might be. That's the essentials. Now, if you sign up for the Sharp Edge, everything in Essential Edge is included, and then you also get the new DFS Pick'em Optimizer, Sharp Money Radar. We're building new tools to add to the Sharp Edge. I don't think I'll ever have a third product. I think this is probably it. So we're going to build a parlay builder. I'm not going to talk about them all, but we got more things we're going to be adding to this. These are limited time pricing as we have just launched. And if you see under here, up here it says soft launch underway. All right. So when the product is fully refined, that means we've gotten all our feedback. We continue to refine the product, make it better and better. Well, then I'll remove these little limited time discounts. Then the essential will be $59 a month and Sharp Edge $89 a month. And then probably by the time we add a bunch of other crap over the next several months or year, maybe it even goes up. I don't know. It's all business at that point because I've got to cover overhead. And if the site gets more successful, I mean, shoot, then I'm paying more people to build more things, and it never ends. You see what I'm saying? It's like it will just continue to go. By the way, we've also added the state here so that you can select your book And this is important for deep linking, and I should have mentioned this, and maybe I never have, and I don't even think I did in the tutorial like a dummy, but you need to select your state for the deep linking to work appropriately. So, like, if I left Nevada in and I tried to use a deep linked line for, um, a deep link line for DraftKings, it's gonna open up DraftKings Nevada. I can't enter that. You gotta select your state. I hope that makes sense. I need a sip of coffee. Zach says, I haven't dug into pick'ems too much, but I feel that Sharp Raider is game day. It is game. Tools and all plans is EV. Yeah, appreciate you, Metal. Competes with quite a bit of other apps out there that does similar things. Yeah, I mean, I think in some ways we've reinvented the wheel, and I think in other ways we've just made our own version of similar things. You know, there are so many tools and apps out there. Literally, like you can find similar things of what we have and created on the internet. I don't know if any of the products have all of them though. Like some products have models, you know, Sims models, simulation models, AI models. They have, and like that's their product. Some companies have EV optimizers. Some are very much focused on having an odds board with deep linked lines, and some are good for research, and they're great for interactive graphs and trends and filters. And but you have to find that stuff. Some have DFS optimizers, some have sharp money, not as many, but they're going to keep coming. People are going to be building these because the APIs are adding liquidity. Bro, I just launched a new product. What do you want? People have questions. This show is absolutely catering to people who have never seen my new product and my own members who have just joined. Like it launched yesterday, bro. What do you want? That's why I'm live on multiple YouTube channels today. I got to get the word out there. Pay tens of thousands of dollars to create the product. Yeah, I'm going to showcase it. Is it always like this? No. Is it the day after a launch? Yeah. Let's have some perspective. All right, so you wanted Scotty Barnes and adding projections for three-pointers? Okay. We'll look at Scotty Barnes for his rebounds. Could you look at LaMelo under 7.5 assists? Absolutely. I think LaMelo's due for a big bounce back today. I think LaMelo's due for a bounce back because of his horrific game last night. Matter of fact, let's go to his page. So LaMelo Ball, remember, he played 23 minutes in a blowout. I think it was a blowout against Boston, right? They won big. Then last game, he plays 22 minutes last night, fouls out, 6 fouls in 22 minutes. He had freaking 3 fouls in 10 minutes in the first half. Plays the third quarter. Guess what? Gets 2 fouls in like 3 minutes. It was so weird. He was so bad. It was so bad. So I think we got to bounce back. I think he plays a ton of minutes. I do. I think he plays a lot of minutes tonight. Brandon Miller, there he is, 27 last night. He didn't even play a ton either. 30 from Conganoople. Well, Bridges, 29. So not a ton of minutes from all the starters, to be honest. Matchup against Sacramento, though, here's the flip side of it. They're so cheeks, so bad. It could be another game where Melo plays. And again, look, I've got the minutes filtered to 30 under because somebody asked about blowout. What if he doesn't play 30 minutes? At 7.5, the under looks interesting. Now, it's quite juicy. So maybe we look at like a combo market, like rebound this. At 11.5, you're getting plus odds. Now, for the filter, does much change? Not really. Not really. Maybe the PRA, honestly, because he has so many games where he doesn't shoot well, 11, 15, 15, 14, 11. Rebounds, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. Like he's under by multiples. Assists, same thing, 4, 6, 5, 4. A lot of hovering around the line here, though. 4, 4, 5, 4. So maybe the PRA to the under might be the best play, to be honest. Just thinking aloud. You can get it at 32.5 on Novig, minus 120, minus 128 for FanDuel, Bovada, minus 130. At 31.5, still, so I guess some of them are leaning to the over, but some are also leaning the under. That 32.5, what is 33.5 at? Oh, Bovada. Wow. Alternate line, minus 149. This is a really interesting play. Appreciate the tip, Coke. Thank you. Who asked for this research for, LaMelo? Does this help you, Zach? So I would say I like the under, but I think I might like the under for the PRA the most. It's already there, bro. Oh, the sharp optimizers. Here's the thing. Those sharp optimizers are using the money from exchanges to give you those totals. I don't I don't know if there's a use case to use the sharp optimizer, the sharp money radar for exchanges. And maybe I'm wrong, and this is one of those things where people are like, "Well, here's what we want," you know? I don't know. I don't think that makes sense. I think you wanna use the money that comes in from the exchanges as your indicator. Am I grandfathered into my spread pricing if I was subscribed before the new site? The old legacy price of $14.99 keeps odds board, positive expected value tool, trends and projections. But the Sharp Money Radar and DFS Optimizer, if you upgrade, it will replace the old one. So I like that under 32.5. Somebody else asked another play. Scotty Barnes was the play. Let's go to Toronto. And what was the play? Was it on his rebounds, if I'm not mistaken? Barnes went from such a great play for his rebounds to it has been terrible. Absolutely terrible. Now the model loves the over, like loves it. It's the model has him for 7.5 rebounds and an A minus grade, loves the over. Recent success says he's been terrible. You're getting plus odds to the under on Novig, plus 118. Again, did I have New York selected? Yes, it won't let me play it. But look, deep link, Scotty Barnes under 6.5 rebounds, plus 118. Pretty cool. I freaking love this tool. Oh, Mitch, stop marketing your tool you sunk $1 million into. Get out of here. Scotty Barnes, I think a lot of it has to do with the amount of minutes that quickly and Pirtle and Ingram and Barrett, like these are good rebounders. RJ Barrett's a great rebounder. Like he's been fantastic. 75% of the last 20 games, he's cashed the over at 5.5. Juice to the over again. Money coming in. Refresh your page, bud. That we fixed the audio in the very beginning of the show. So you might have just tuned in and you're backed up, and he might not see this for another 40 minutes. Now that I think about it. Brandon Ingram, little touch and go on the rebounds. But at 5.5, another line at 5.5. Like all these guys have such high rebound lines. 8.5 for Pirtle. Jacoby Walker, we don't have to worry about. But quickly, I mean, he can rack up. He's more of a assist, isn't he? Audio's tripping again? Gosh darn it. Well, to be honest, it's been 75 minutes. I'll probably never do a live stream for simultaneous channels ever again. I don't think I will. The audio gets screwed up when I have two different channels streaming. I don't know why. It's very bizarre. I can't figure it out. Just cutting out some? Yeah. Yeah. I think it's the dual channel streaming. I'm trying my best. I think it's just a convoluted situation. I don't know how to answer this one. Pelicans suck. They're going to miss a lot of shots. I think he has a chance at a bunch of rebounds. The model likes the over, but recently RJ Barrett just racking 6, 7 up per game. Maybe too well, too good. I hear you loud and clear, but I'm on YouTube on PC. That's so weird. Maybe there's YouTube issues. I think these are most of the plays we've covered. And again, we covered another 4 or 5 plays on the projections. I can't wait to see the bet tracker in action. I just can't wait. Like tomorrow, I hope I just see green for Wednesday. I can't wait. Yeah, we covered, I don't know, 5 or 6 projection plays. Well, that deep link play here at plus 118 still sitting there. I know it. Let's see. That's a good play. Oh, there it is. All right. So let's talk about this real quick. Remember, I like to have longer than whale selected. All right. You can also select DFS only if you're looking for pick 'em apps only. But let's look at this. So almost $800 coming on Novig at minus 125, meaning there's a plus 125 play on Novig sitting there with $800 liquidity waiting to be eaten or sipped. Implied odds for a two-pick entry on underdog minus 115 is better. This is a great play. Save bet. Jabari Smith under. Remember, it's under, sharp side under for underdog. Perfect example of a play I do not like for DFS. Alperin Sengun. It shows available for the sharp money radar. 929 bucks has come in for no profit X. Problem is that 525 came in at plus 105. The 400 came in at minus 103. The Pick'em apps implied it's going to be worse. Longer than whale is it's not going to be exact, but what it's going to do is it's going to find plays where the available books, at least one of the books, has better odds than at least one of the sharp exchanges. Does that make sense? Like plus 100 would be better than minus 103 from Novik. So this shows up longer than whale. If you leave this off, you're going to get a bunch of weird plays, in my opinion. Like this is not good, in my opinion. So yeah, $2,000 came in at minus 115 on Novik to the under. Can you play it on the score bet, formerly known as ESPN? Can you play it at minus 141 on BetMGM? Sure, sure. But it's 10 cents worse for the score, and it's 26 cents worse on BetMGM. You feeling me? So if you leave longer than whale, these plays, which seem kind of like a trap or at least not worth your money, the return on your investment, I think they get removed. Where do you have a Murray play? We already have Evan Mobley play. So minus 129, $600 to come in at a minus 129 on exchanges. Here's another price we play. Deontay Murray. He is even under 1.5 steals. Is he? What's the defense look like? 50-50. Here's a nice one for price picks. Jokic, under 12.5 rebounds against Denver. So we've got $584 coming in at a minus 120-ish. Price picks. Implied odds, minus 118 for 3-pick power. That's another good play. And you could do this all day. And you'll see times it was crazy. It's crazy. So, like yesterday, there were times during the day that were, $6,000 on a play. And then times like now where it doesn't seem like too much money's coming in. It's early in the NBA day. You know when this is usually the best? And I would imagine, I guess I have a single day sample size, is I took a photo at 5 o'clock because I figured, all right, people are getting home from work, money's flowing into these lines, and most of the NBA news is out. So you have a clear read on the slate, and a ton of money starts coming in. And you see a $6,600 in sharp action on the under for Giannis. It was a lock and load for Prize Picks, and this is just for the pick 'em apps I was showing. It went 9-1. So I think later in the day, you're probably gonna find better plays. And by the way, I've been showing DFS only for the most part today because I know that's mostly where a lot of you live. Okay? I understand. I get it. You love it, but it's not the only thing there, man. It's not. If you like betting on games, you're actually gonna see some really interesting plays. The one thing I would be mindful of if you use this is to, for games, I would probably wait. Like, listen, gonna be multiple trains of thought here. I think some people are gonna wanna make sure they get the best CLV ever. I'm willing to give up 5 cents on a total for accurate news to come out for the game. Like, if we're waiting on Donovan Mitchell to play for Cleveland tonight against, Orlando, $14,000 has come in plus 112 on Kalshi. Look at that. So $13,500 to come in on Kalshi at plus 112. So the liquidity over there for minus 112 is 13.5. Bet openly at plus 105 is close to the plus 112, but it's not better. So I don't really like it. Now, if the bet openly line was a plus 115, now you're 3 cents better than $13,000 backing a plus 112 for the under 225.5. So if you're using this for the games, I probably wouldn't play anything that didn't stay longer than whale. That's just me. That's just me. And here's an example. So $4,000 has come in on a minus 108 on Profit X and Kalshi. You can get this on bet openly for a minus 104. So minus 108 on exchanges, minus 104 on bet openly. That's a pretty good play. Over 225.5 Cleveland and Orlando. But again, for the NBA, I probably want to wait until later to enter those because I want all the accurate information. What exactly does what? So when you said this, what were you in relation to what? The projections? Projections take into account injury news, Vegas odds, everything. Yeah. And then we simulate them 10,000 times the entire game. Wow, almost 90 minutes. It's crazy how fast time goes here. I start yapping. A lot to cover, though. I mean, listen, it's like a lot of new stuff. I've never explained it before. I've never had to. I've never tried. Minimum whale set for 1,000 here. I mean, you guys can set your own filters. Anyways, I'll learn. I'll learn how to talk about it better. Hopefully, we all learn how to use it better, make some money together. A lot of money to be made. Just got to use the stuff right. Yeah, I mean, I definitely focused a lot today, Jason, on DFS stuff because I'm going to be honest. I know that a lot of people using the optimizers, the EV calcs, the sharp money radar, they're using it for pick'em. So I made it a point today to cover pick'em a ton with it. But I've never done it before. Like, I should say it's been years. Like, I think the last time I covered anything for pick'em was, like, 3 years ago. I mean, NFL for underdog will do, but, hardcore, like, tools-based stuff, like, I have not done in years. Yeah, I know, it's gone. I drank it all. But, yeah, I mean, I'll have more stuff for that most shows, Jason. A lot of focus on Novig and stuff for sure. And thanks everybody for tuning in. I mean, I had about 100 people watching across both channels the entire 90 minutes on a random Wednesday, on a random Wednesday, March 11th for an unmarketed show. I'm happy with it. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button on your way out. Remember, on YouTube, I've got 80 people watching on the old channel. You got to follow the new channel where I do my daily live shows. You have to. I'm going to drop the link right here. Okay? That's the link to the channel. I guess that's the link to the other live show. Please, please, please make sure you are subscribed to My Sperry Edge on YouTube, not My Sperry Picks. I know 80 of you are watching on My Sperry Picks right now. You got to be subscribed to the other one because the other channel is where I go live daily. I won't be going live on this NFL channel again until I do NFL only shows next, but I wanted to let people know where I've been. So that's where you can find me. So if you haven't seen me for a month, now you know where I've been on the other channel. All right. Have yourselves a wonderful day. MySperryEdge.com. Grab that link down below, and I will see you inside Discord, my friends. Let's get paid.